I'll keep the gloves on the entire postgame show. I'll keep the gloves on. You think I'm worried about that? You think I'm worried about that right now? I'll keep the gloves on. The hell you guys think you're talking to? Are you kidding me right now? All right, you guys know what happens. I get a little winded. I get a little, I got to get in better shape. I'm just saying, Slee, you got to get in better shape. Lakers over the Kings, 103-99, the final score. Laker fans, got to be honest with everybody here. This looks a lot different. I get it. There's a long season to be played, but these last 5 games look different. This is not the same exact Lakers team that we've been watching over the course of the last 3 weeks or so. It's different. It's obvious what's different. This squad all of a sudden looks a little bit connected. It looks like they're playing defense. They are, actually. They've given up about 100 points per game in the last 5 games, and they're making teams play their style of basketball. That is very, very refreshing. This is not something that, at least from my perspective, I was not expecting this, watching this team play over, the course of these last couple of weeks, but very, very good basketball. I'm going to kind of, as we go through the postgame show tonight, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to probably over-compliment the team. I've spent a good amount of time going at this team. What the hell are they doing? How come they're not playing better basketball? I don't really have anything negative to say over these last 5 games. Let's take a quick listen. Here's LeBron, Mike Trudell, Spectrum SportsNet.
Wins has been about us doing the little things because we have not been able to shoot the ball into an ocean last 2 games. But we've been able to win these 2 games in this hostile environment because we've done the little things. And defensively, we've been on
playing defense.
You're right. The threes won't go down tonight. But when you play that kind of defense and do the little things like you mentioned, you can make up the margins. What has been improving on the defensive end?
Communication. Everybody been taking individual talents in their individual matchups, and it's just been good basketball all around.
You know it's tough to beat a team twice in a row in their home gym. You came out and set a big tone on the offensive end, getting into the paint, doing the bully thing. What were you seeing early in their defense?
I just wanted to set the tone and let my teammates know that, okay, Friday was okay. It was a good win. Thursday was a good win, but let's get greedy and try to win this one too. And we had that opportunity, so I just try to motivate my teammates tonight.
All right, last one for you. As you now go home to face Detroit, LeBron, do you think that you've learned something as a team from the way you've been playing the last week and change?
In order for us to win, we got to defend. And then, our shots will fall. We get too many great looks. We're playing offense damn good. We get to our places in our sets. We get to our shots. We're just not knocking them down, but we will knock them down, and we just got to continue to trust the pass and trust each other.
Appreciate it, LeBron.
All right, that's LeBron right there with Mike Trudell. Thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. I spent the first part of the show swinging at nothing, but I did have the gloves on for a little bit. Thank you for being here, and thank you for hanging out. This is going to be a good post-game show. It's going to be a solid post-game show. I couldn't agree more with what LeBron said. I'm going to tell you guys the theme of this Lakers team and why all of a sudden it looks like they're playing good basketball. Listen, you can't win every basketball game, but here's what you can do. And there's enough people that are on this channel that have been on this channel for a long time that I really, really do love that most people that are on this channel, they understand the game of basketball. They follow the game of basketball. Lakers are playing good basketball, not perfect, not getting too cute. There were a lot of moments in this game that I thought Sacramento would start making a little bit of a run. It's like, okay, will they hit a big shot? Will they get a big stop? Will they get a couple of stops, kind of just calm the water down a little bit? This is good basketball. The product that you've been watching for the Lakers, at least against Memphis and these 2 games against the Sacramento Kings, is good basketball. Now, I don't think Sacramento's that good. If I got to be honest with everybody, I'm not impressed with the Kings at all. It was great to see the Lakers really dictate in these 2 games. You're going to play our style. We're not going to play your style. Sacramento wants to run the ball up and down the floor. They don't want to play half-court offense. They want to fire up a ton of threes. They're not able to do that on this Lakers defense. And there were a lot of times where I kind of got a little confused about Sacramento. If I'm Sacramento and I'm Malik Monk and I'm firing away. I'm Keegan Murray. I'm taking as many threes as possible. I'm trying to get the Lakers tired. Lakers kept slowing things down. Like I said, when they needed to get stops, they got stops. Something Bron said there, Bron was talking about them when he's talking to Mike Trudell. When they're spending time talking specifically about, these shots are going to fall, I like the looks that we're getting. I really don't even care about the offense. I got to be completely honest with you. If that offense is going to get better just naturally because they're more and more confident, maybe they're on a little bit of a winning streak, maybe they know they could get stops and there's less pressure for their offense, I would much rather have a team that I'm watching, that I'm following, that can get stops than are trying to drop 130 every night. That is not a winning recipe. What is a winning recipe is you got one of the best players in the world in Anthony Davis that could lock down and anchor your defense. Then you got guys that can kind of complement, whether that's Max Christie, whether at times that's Rui, whether at times that's Cam Reddish, whether at times that's Gabe Vincent. You got enough kind of scrappers in there. And Austin Reeves, not a great defender, but he's a scrapper. You got enough players in there to just make it a dogfight. That's how the Lakers should win games. If they're trying to outshoot teams, if they're trying to outplay teams because they're taking a ton of threes, I don't see that much success for the Lakers. I really actually do believe these last 3 games is a blueprint of how the Lakers can get W's and how they could turn around their season, how they could potentially be, back into that playoff mix where they're not one of the top 6 teams, or they're not one of the 7 to 10 teams that they could be one of the top 4, 5, 6 seeds, something along those lines. I know there's still a lot of basketball, but I really am surprised. I'm surprised how things turned around. I want people to do me a favor here, because there have been a lot of people that have ran their mouth, including myself, about LeBron this season and certain games that he plays where, stylistically, why do you just dribble the ball back and forth? That's not good offense. It's not a good rhythm for some of your other players. Bron's not doing enough here. Bron's not doing enough there. Why are you taking a shot at the end of the shot clock? No one should say anything about LeBron tonight. If tonight you come on this postgame show and in the comments there, you say something negative about LeBron James, then you're just a hater, period. You're just a hater. There are other games you can do it. You can't do it tonight. You can't. 32 points, 13 to 24 from the field, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. I think LeBron, and I've said this a couple different times, when LeBron is not, when he just becomes, let me be one of the guys that are on the floor, not the guy. Let me just be one of the guys. I think at this stage of his career, this is where he's most effective. I think at this stage of his career is when he's saying, you know what, there's going to be possessions, 3, 4, 5, 6 possessions where I don't take a shot. That's okay. Let me kind of find my moments. Let me try to get us in the offense and take a good shot with good time left on the shot clock rather than trying to play hero ball. LeBron was brilliant tonight, was really, really good tonight. And in a game where Anthony Davis on one side of the ball only scored 10 points. Now, there's other things that Anthony Davis did, and we'll get into it. And frankly, maybe if the Lakers lost this game, this is one of those games where you rip Anthony Davis. How you only taking 10 shots and only having 10 points? I guess because he was just so brilliant defensively and LeBron could kind of fill in the gap offensively along with D'Angelo Russell, I don't have an issue with it. But I've done enough of these post-game shows so far this year where there's obviously been a ton of criticism that has gone towards LeBron. We've had our fair share of conversations about it. If you're hating today, then you're just hating on LeBron. Then it doesn't matter what LeBron can do on a night in, night out basis. You just specifically don't like watching LeBron James, which that's fine. That's your right. But you're calling it wrong tonight because LBJ was great. I thought D'Angelo Russell gave the Lakers really, really good, valuable minutes. And I like that JJ Redick rewarded him by saying, go ahead and close out that game. Go ahead and be a part of that closeout. And even though he came off the bench tonight, he played 30 minutes. That's starter type of minutes. That's, hey, we need you to close out the games, or we need you to close out the game. We need you to be, to an extent, a threat offensively. What a beautiful stat line from D'Lo. 25 and 4 in 30 minutes of play. Shot over 50% from the field, 3 of 7 from the 3-point line. What a really, really nice game from D'Angelo Russell. All right. I know there's a lot of comments on here. I know there's a lot of people that want to weigh in and they want to give their opinion on it. But I just want everyone to take a quick second. You know, I'm obviously covering Lakers basketball basically every day, doing the post-game show, doing the Sleewa show Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. And I'm not going to lie. I went through a streak there where I was kind of annoyed of myself with how negative I was getting about the Lakers. But my job is to be honest. And if I'm being honest, I didn't have that many positive things to look at. But then you have moments of the season like this where all of a sudden you're starting to look at this Lakers team and say, okay, hey, you know what? That's respectable basketball. The style of play, I appreciate their style of play. Shots are not always going to fall. Okay, your threes are not hitting, but pay attention to what they're doing defensively. That's how they've won these games, and you know certainly a lot of guys have stepped up. All right, let me look at a couple of your comments here real quick. Slee, not even 30 games yet, but AD been missing crunch time free throws. Good thing we won. King scored the same points last game. Francis Mendoza. Francis, I appreciate the super. Thank you very much for doing that. Let me say this here real quick about those 2 missed free throws by AD. He had a chance to ice the game. You're not wrong. AD's got to hit those free throws. You're absolutely right. But I'll say this. It didn't cost them the game. And because it didn't cost them the game, and I think sometimes you just kind of figure out, is there a way we could just win this game? It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not going to be ideal. It might not be the blueprint to going out there and winning an NBA championship. But can you just walk away with a win? They did that. And Rui Hachimura had a huge tip back, obviously, and saved the Lakers. Austin Reeves stepped up and hit 2 free throws, and that's it. Lakers put it on the ice there, 103-99. You're not wrong that AD's got to hit those free throws. I don't question that for 1 second. It makes me think of the Orlando Magic game. I'm sure there's probably some other games that we could talk about as well that I'm just not remembering off the top of my head. You're not wrong. But I will tell you, Francis, all good. They won the game. They ran their record now. They've won 4 of their last 5 games, and their record now, if I'm correct, 16-12. So just when it looked like they're about to fall back to 500, they're now 16-12 on the season. It's kind of crazy here. And this is just how close everybody is. They're 5th now in the Western Conference by winning this game tonight. I don't know if the Clippers got a game. I'm sure there's other games going to go on this weekend. Maybe that's going to shake things up even more. But Clippers are 16-12. Denver's 14-11. Minnesota's 14-12. And you can kind of go down the list the rest of the way. All right, let me get some more of your guys' comments here. Let's see. 5th. Yes, I just looked at it right now, too. I'm actually a little surprised by that. I did not know that. Here's one. Dalton Connect's been in a slump. All good. All good. If you're winning basketball games and all of a sudden, you know, guys like Gabe Vincent are starting to look sort of like their contract, at least over these last couple of games, where you feel like I can get good minutes from Max Christie. He's going to give me, you know, whatever tough minutes that he's going to give on any given night. If I could get 11 rebounds from Rui Hachimura like he did tonight, Austin Reeves in that last game, I want to say led the Lakers in scoring. This game, D'Angelo Russell stepped up. Don't worry too much about an individual player. I would say worry much more about getting a W and how many other guys are contributing. That's what I would worry more about. I really like Max Christie's effort in the starting lineup has impacted the team. Okay, you guys can tell me. Am I overreacting on this or am I not? Does it not look like the vibe is just better for the Lakers? Something was off over that stretch. Something was off. Clearly the effort wasn't there. I don't know what it was. Was it the message of J.J. Redick? Did they need to clear the air somewhere? Bron decided he was going to take 7-8 days off. Was it Bron's fault? I mean, I could point out to a lot of those games where LeBron was trying to do too much, and I would make the argument, no, this is the game where you just let the game come natural. It's going to be tough for Bron when he makes those adjustments because he is 39 years old. But there's a different vibe that I'm noticing over this stretch of games. They seem more connected. They seem like they're fighting more for each other. You know where it started? I thought it started in that loss against Atlanta in overtime, where they should have had that game. They should have won that game against Atlanta. But I feel like it started there, even though that was an L, and it's kind of continued. You did have the one game against Minnesota where LeBron wasn't there. What'd they end up losing by, 8 or 10 or whatever that was? But for the most part, I do feel like it looks a little bit different. I don't know how I got there when all you said was Max Christie's effort in the starting lineup, and there I went on some kind of a tangent. All right, let's get another one here. AES, thank you very much for the super. Cam Reddish was a star in his role. Fox and DeMar got resistance all night. Christie helps too. Defense first is the way to win. Free D4. Guys, don't worry about Dalton Connect right now. Worry about winning games. Thank you very much for the super, brother. I appreciate you. Yeah, their defense, let me see real quick. I'm going to say it again. There was a story that came out on De'Aaron Fox today we're going to get to in a little bit here. I am not impressed with the Sacramento Kings. I'm really not. DeMar DeRozan was beyond average in these 2 games that he played the Lakers. Fox still dropped 31 on them. Monk, they completely shut out. You know, Monk was 3 of 14 from the field. 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. I feel that guy hesitates too much against the Lakers for some reason, at least in these games so far. How about this? How about the Lakers are 3-0 so far on the season against the Sacramento Kings? The Lakers, Sacramento, wasn't Sacramento the team that was absolutely owning them? That did not happen tonight. So that's, obviously great news for the Lakers right there. I think people are giving me a heads up of some different scores out there. I think they said Clippers and Mavericks are just about to start right now. Okay. I know that probably has something to do with the standings we were talking about. Warriors and the Timberwolves are playing each other. So there's a couple of teams, a little bit of impact there. Really, really nice win for the Lakers. Really, really impressive basketball for the Lakers right now. All right, this one. Pelinka's still sleeping. Mag, can you give him a second? Why do we have to go after Pelinka here? What happened? How come Pelinka was part of the conversation? Well, there was no angle for Pelinka right there. Jesus, Mark. Yeah, they're going to have to make a move. That part is still going to be there. But that's okay. That's what you want. You want pressure on your front office. I guess people do not realize that AD causes a lot of game by missing late free throws. Yep, already talked about that a little bit earlier. Finally, Gabe making shots. Can I tell you guys this about Gabe Vincent? By the way, as soon as JJ Redick talks, we'll go to JJ and we'll get his thoughts on this quick little sweep of 2 games that the Lakers had against the Sacramento Kings. Let me tell you guys something about Gabe real quick. I almost don't want to give Gabe Vincent credit. Let me tell you why I don't want to give him credit. Look what a petty Laker fan I am. You know why I don't want to give him credit? Is because he owes the Lakers a lot of games. You got to start playing good ball. You signed for 3 years, $33 million. At some point, I don't want to give Gabe credit. You know what I want to say? I just want to say Gabe's doing his job. That's it. That's all I want to say for Gabe. And he has been better. He was better in that last game against Sacramento. He was better in this game as well. Had a key 3-pointer. Is kind of scratching and clawing, doing whatever he needs to do to impact the game. And, obviously, clearly he's done that these last few games. But that's his job. I don't want to give guys too much credit where he's been so MIA for so long for the Lakers, and now all of a sudden he's having a little bit of impact. That's the contract that he signed. And that's the responsibility of a lot of these players, is to step up. All right, let's see what we got here. It's like getting an award for coming into work. It's like, no, you don't get an award for just coming to work. They pay you to come to work. Let's take a quick listen here. Here's JJ Redick on the Lakers win over the Sacramento Kings.
To doing the things you guys need, like
just a big time play, and
Why is this guy always eating?
It's a small thing, but just to have the
JJ
mindset and the effort to try to get an offensive rebound on a free throw. I mean, it seems simple, but they had put their rebounding lineup in. They brought Len in. They brought, had Sabonis in there. It was just a big time play. Another game where we don't shoot the ball well, but our guys fought
What's going on with JJ's
was
mouth?
fantastic, particularly in the half court. When we were able to limit them to one shot.
Well, I was eating
and
something.
When we didn't turn the ball over and able to set our defense, it was fantastic. And we've had a number of those type plays on offensive rebounds late game. I think the New Orleans game, even the other night, Gabe and I think it was Max had a big one. Those plays matter, and it certainly mattered tonight when Rui made that play.
By getting these 2 wins and I suppose building defensively the way that you've been talking about, do you feel like that sets something in stone of what you feel like you need to win and you can carry it back with you?
I think by playing defense, I mean, this team, I believe, was the 5th offensive rated team coming into the first of these 2 games.
Yeah, they're locking down on D.
Tonight,
locking down.
They were 5th as of Thursday morning. And if we can give ourselves a chance to win every night and compete every night with our defense, I believe in the long term of our offense and the guys we have, that they're going to be able to make plays and make shots.
JJ, LeBron was in attack mode early, and a lot of it was right at the basket.
It's almost better that they're not relying on their offense so they can establish an identity on defense. Offense will eventually come.
Their bigs lifted.
Talking about Braun right here.
Just middle of the floor, bigs lifted. Giving them a lane to roll, a lane to drive. I thought the 2-man stuff with him and D'Lo, whether it was middle of the floor in the first half or on the side in the second half, was really good for us.
And do you guys say anything to AD at this point? Because there's been over the last several years some free throw situations where you haven't made in late game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that as a player, that stuff can weigh on you. I trust him. I believe in him. He'll be in those situations again, and I'm confident he's going to make the shot. It didn't, this in the Orlando game, I'm not deterred in terms of having the basketball in his hands, with under 30 seconds.
JJ, it's hard to win one game on the road. To beat a team twice in a row like this was obviously going to be a challenge when you guys saw the schedule. How critical was the energy from you guys right away in this game on both sides of the floor? Do you feel like that kind of set a tone and an expectation?
It did. I've felt our defense early, and coming in both these games to be able to get off to the defensive start we did, where the crowd's not necessarily into it early, and it gives you a little bit of confidence on the road. I thought our energy on the bench was great, and that stuff, all that stuff matters on the road. And so I really do believe it was, the way we started these 2 games defensively is ultimately what gave us a chance to win, because that defense carried over for 4 quarters in both games.
All right, we'll stop right there. They're done as well. Okay, that's JJ Redick. I will say, and this is one of the things, so typically when I'm watching the game, sometimes I'll take some notes on my phone or on a sheet of paper. And a couple times I found myself, for both games they played against the Kings. Kings were playing uphill for both games. I think that's so important that the Lakers were the ones that jumped out to a start. If you guys remember, last game Lakers played against Sacramento when they played a couple nights ago. They played on Thursday night. Lakers were up by 9 by the time the first quarter was done. Do you know the biggest lead that the Sacramento Kings had in that game? They had a 5-point lead. Lakers had a 16-point lead. The entire game, Sacramento had to go uphill. Okay, tonight's game, by the time the first quarter was done, Lakers were up 5. The biggest lead the Kings had tonight was 2. The biggest lead that the Lakers had was 10. Now, listen, it was always pretty close. It felt like between 4 and 6 points, but it was the Lakers that had that lead that entire time. They're the ones that had the 4 to 6 point lead. So they forced Sacramento to be playing from behind. They really never let them get into any momentum. I know I'm going to, probably emphasize this too much, but that's just phenomenal defense. You gave up 100 points on Thursday to Sacramento. You gave up 99 points to Sacramento on Saturday. That's how they got their W's. I've said this before, and I'll probably continue to say it again. I love the game of basketball. Yes, it's fun to see teams drop 128 points. If you want sustained success, you got to get stops and you got to play defense. Memphis, Sacramento and Sacramento. 3 straight games, Lakers were phenomenal on defense. And even though I'm not that crazy about Sacramento, it's not easy to go up there and, win games. And the Lakers just made it look easy for 2 straight games. All right, let's get a couple more of these going here. AR, thank you, brother. Always very appreciative with your supers, so thank you very much. Slee, best performance of LeBron for the last 4 games. I never imagined we'll be in the 5th place in the NBA. They played like they care. As Laker fans, I'm extremely happy. Aaron, let me tell you something. Couple things here. Couple things we're going to put into perspective. By the way, I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoyed 2 NFL games earlier. The college football playoffs started. A lot of good NBA. It's actually... I always thought October was the best time of the year for sports. I don't know. Maybe I got to have to reconsider this. It's a pretty damn good part of the year as well. AR, I'll say this. I think, all Laker fans are really hoping for is, can you have a product that you're watching night in and night out and say, all right, I respect that product. I respect what the Lakers are doing, or I respect where the Lakers are going, or I respect that these players respect the game and the jersey that they're wearing. That's kind of checkbox number 1. And I think these last 5 games or so, 6 games, I do feel like something has changed with the demeanor of the team, the energy of the team. So that's a great sign right there. That's a great sign. Now, will they still need to go out there and get better talent? Could this all kind of go away if they had a bad loss coming up against the Pistons in a couple of days? Sure, that can happen. But they could also just keep building off what they've been doing, and hopefully the ups and downs of an NBA season, they're learning from some of their mistakes and they go from there. AR, I appreciate you sending the super there. Next 14 games at home. You're right. Yeah, I heard Billy Mack and Stu talking about that on the broadcast. Next 11 of 14 at home. And I think one of those road games that the Lakers are going to have, it's actually a Clippers home game, so they won't have to travel for that one. Obviously, this will be the first time that the Lakers are playing in Inglewood with the Clippers hosting a game, so that should be interesting in itself. That's not going to be for a little bit, but I think the more important part is what a chance that you have to kind of grow on your record, grow where you are in the standings based off what you've done over this stretch of games, specifically 4 out of these last 5 games. Here's Bron in the locker room. Let's see what he's got to say to some of the reporters.
The way you guys did these last 8 quarters, how encouraging is that for you?
Well, I mean, we understood in order for us to be able to at least compete in every game and to win games, we can't rely on offense all the time, and we have to buckle down on defense. And we had I don't know when that was. I think maybe 6-7 games ago, or whatever. Our defense was not so good. I think it was that road trip when we went to Miami, whatever the case may be. And from that moment, we just started really, sharpening our defense. I think our offense is going to come. We understand that. But you can win games in this league when you defend at a high level. We've been doing that over the last couple of weeks.
What were the determining factors in your offensive approach tonight?
I don't know. I just wanted to seize the opportunity. We had an opportunity to get 2, quality wins on the road in a hostile environment versus a really good team, a team that we have not had much success with over the last couple of years. And I just tried to seize the opportunity and, breathe energy into my teammates.
JJ talked about the kind of just your defense and things that you've been bringing on that end in these last couple of games and the last couple of weeks. So you play so many games of defense over the years. But what do you feel like you need to do the most to help the overall product?
Most important is my voice. I always got to make sure that my voice is always commanding and calling things out and letting guys know what things are happening behind the defense. Obviously, you have the point of attack. Sorry, 1 second. You have the point of attack, the guy guarding the ball, and then 9 times out of 10.
We'll end it after this one.
So I just try to guide the rest of the guys behind the back line and let those guys know what's going on behind them. So just try to be in the right place at the right time and also take responsibility of my individual matchups, whoever that case may be that night.
All right, that's Bron right there. Okay, let's spend a little bit more time on LeBron. I saw a couple of comments here. Not enough LeBron talk for me. That was Wayne. All right, let's spend a little time on Bron. Let me tell you, at this stage of this stage of his career, where I feel like he's at his best for the Lakers. LeBron at his best is somebody probably taking around 15 shots a game, 15 to, let's say, 18 shots a game, somewhere around there. LeBron really, really depending on the rest of the players that he's on the floor with. So to start out the game, no need to play hero ball, no need to, wind down the shot clock, no need to try to hit a dagger 3 in the first half that doesn't make sense, or it's a 4 shot, none of that. Let me rely on Austin Reeves to help me out. Let me rely on Anthony Davis to carry the team. Let me rely on, if Rui's open for a corner 3, take the butt or take that shot and let me make that extra pass. At this stage of LeBron's career, that's where he's going to be at his best. This is very, very difficult for a player of the magnitude of LeBron to just be one of the guys, because he's always the guy. But I do think at this stage, he has to be just one of the guys. And if he is, and things are rolling, and he's finding ways to get to the basket and not just relying on taking jumpers or outside shots or whatever the case is, then he might have one of those nights where we can look back and say, damn, Bron was really, really good tonight. And he took 24 shots. I was low probably on the shots. I would say 18 to 21 shots a game, something like that. But he shot over 50% from the field, 13 of 24. Where Bron was awful, the only area Bron was awful, he was just really, really bad from the three-point line. So maybe that's a little bit of a perfect, 1 of 8 from the three-point line. So just imagine if he's relying less on the three-point shot. Listen, unless it's the right shot, he's taking it in motion. It's perfect within the offense, but forcing or, trying to size up somebody. He had one where he was literally starting to go backwards with 5 seconds left on the shot clock so he could size up Domantas Sabonis, and he was going to have to take a tough 3. Those are obviously not good shots. He's always going to do the other things. He had 4 steals tonight, which is amazing. He had 7 rebounds. He had 6 assists. That's just a monster stat line. AD, by the way, 3 blocks and 15 rebounds. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit more LeBron if you were looking for a little bit more LeBron talk. This is an interesting one. Kings are wasting Fox. Okay, I got you guys. There was a story a little bit earlier today that had come out. Sacramento, Spurs positioning themselves for potential De'Aaron Fox trade with the Kings. Now, let me tell you guys a little bit what's going on here. Anthony Slater, Sam Amick of The Athletic reported that Fox's agent, Rich Paul, was in Sacramento this weekend to discuss the point guard's future with the Kings front office. Fox is currently scheduled to become a free agent after next season. So not this year, after next season. He declined a 3-year, $165 million contract extension in October. He can qualify for a Supermax deal of 5 years, $345 if he's named to an NBA All-Star selection. Sacramento is in an interesting spot. And what's interesting to me is I don't feel like they're moving in the right direction. I don't feel like this is a team right now that if you look at the West and you're like, oh, come on, they're top 6 in the Western Conference. No question about it. No, I think they're going to be a playing tournament team, and I don't think there's a guarantee that they're going to get into that final 8 when the dust settles. They just don't play enough defense. Something's missing with them. I thought in the offseason they were one of the teams rumored to go out to go get Lauri Markkanen, and I think part of the reason why they didn't do it is because Keegan Murray would have been part of the deal. That's the area that I think for Sacramento, I think they're content with competing. I don't think there is this, we got to go win an NBA championship. And I would have went and got Lauri Markkanen and teamed him up with Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox and took my chances in the Western Conference. What could happen now is they're just a very average team. And what if De'Aaron Fox decides, I don't know where this team's going. Maybe I could go play with a guy like Victor Wembanyama. I was trying to I never open up that NBA trade, the ESPN trade, whatever that is, right? I never open up that thing. I opened it up today. Okay? And I was trying to play something in my head. I was basically telling myself this. I was saying, what would the Sacramento Kings want from the Los Angeles Lakers to try to make a deal? This is the only scenario that I could kind of come up with using the trade machine. I felt like I was a 9-year-old. This is the only thing I come up in the trade machine. If I'm Sacramento and I'm saying, okay, I'm going to trade De'Aaron Fox, and if I'm going to trade him to the Lakers, is there any way that I can fleece the Lakers? I don't think there is, because the best team, the best players, wherever he goes is where the team goes. The only trade I could come up with that made sense financially, and they would actually get some pretty decent pieces, was Austin Reeves, Max Christie, Rui Hachimura, and 2 first-rounders. That would work in the trade machine. Maybe I'm offering too much. My point is that I value De'Aaron Fox in his game. And I don't think the Lakers and the Kings are going to be making a trade anytime soon. But I think De'Aaron Fox is a real player in this league. And if you told me, we always talk about who's going to be that next player that plays with Anthony Davis. Oh, I'd take my chances with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox and AD, and then go get, more players like you do. But again, I don't think that the Kings and the Lakers are going to be making a trade anytime soon. But I purposely looked at it from the Kings' perspective. Okay, if we're getting rid of De'Aaron Fox, what would I want from the Lakers? Austin Reeves, because he's a good player. Max Christie, because he has a future, I think. Rui Hachimura, actually, the reason why I would take Rui Hachimura is because he has another deal after this year, so I could go shop him somewhere else. And then, of course, the 2 first-rounders like I was talking about. I'm going to emphasize again, De'Aaron Fox is not coming to the Lakers. He's not. That's not something that's going to happen. So something to keep in mind. All right, let's see some more comments here, and then if they go to Anthony Davis a little bit later, we'll take a listen to him. Thank you very much for the super. Max, Zach, Bron, AD, 6-man obvious. Can't count on them. Zach decimated Celtics twice this year. Denver fans fear him. I think what you're trying to say here is go for Zach LaVine. By the way, thank you very much for the super. I appreciate you doing that. Let me say this real quick about third star or kind of round up the rest of your roster. Whatever you think will help you get closer to competing for a championship, that should be the strategy. That's obviously up to the front office. I mean, if you ask me, I still think the Lakers if your third player is Austin Reeves, I just don't think they're a championship contender, like a real championship contender. But maybe some of that changes if they keep playing defense and, raising some value from some of these other players. David Sabatini, who are you rooting for tonight, Alan? UC San Diego or USD? Well, I got to be honest with you. I don't follow either one of the teams. I know UCSD has got a better record, so why don't we go UCSD? Maybe that helps them in their conference. We'll roll with that one. Thank you for the super, David. I'm an Aztec. I'm an SDSU guy. All right, let's see what else we got here. Slee, check these fools who want to trade LeBron with no pick. I think we've all determined that he's not going anywhere. Bron's not going anywhere. Now, if the house was burning, if this team was going nowhere and the Lakers were as far away as you can possibly think, and maybe they're those losses that they had and they're not going to be a playoff team, maybe it's LeBron that's asking, what, do I really want to kind of keep losing here year in and year out with the Lakers, or do I want to try to compete in the playoffs? But they're turning something around. Let's see if they can sustain it. Here's AD.
Being gritty, and playing desperate on the defensive end. So anytime we can play like that, when our offense isn't always there, we can rely on our defense, and we just want to carry that into Monday's game.
Obviously, when you guys have watched film throughout the season, right, like defensively especially, the focus has been on the breakdowns. But what's it been like seeing these possessions where there was one in the first half today where it was like every rotation was like where it needed to be, every switch and recovery was where it needed to be? How much more frequently have you seen like these kind of almost perfect defensive possession pop up when you've watched your own team play?
Is that kind of like what I just kind of answered?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at it, when we're actually playing, it feels great. It looks great. We can feel the energy. We can feel the swagger that we have defensively. And we're starting to just like do things that we just didn't do during the stretch where we were bad. And they're just kind of like instinctual, if that makes sense. And then when you see it on film, it's like
you know, even more, you know, glorified because of, like I say, it feels good in the game, and then when you watch it, it's just like, oh damn, we're really good, you know, on all aspects, you know, defensively. So you got to keep that up. You know, it's gonna, you know, the old term, you know, defense win championships. You know, we just got to keep defending.
Effort and execution.
All right, final one here with AD.
But in the time you guys actually finally had a few practices.
Yep. I'm listening, Dave.
Do you make any schematic adjustments, or has it been mostly been
defensively?
Yeah.
No, not really. Obviously, it's game by game. You know, we still have our base defense, and then depending on the matchups, like, you know, we'll adjust what we want to do. But for the most part, you know, it's just us actually deciding, like, okay, we need to buckle down defensively and play. You know, we're giving up too many points and too many offensive rebounds, open threes, we're fouling, like everything. We're just going for fast break points. And we kind of just, you know, cleaned all of that up. It was nothing really schematically that we really done, but because we do our base, and we just don't know if we were messing up so many coverages and not covering for one another, not talking, not helping, so you can't really know if your base defense works. And you know, we still stick with our base defense, and you know, we're seeing that it's working right now because we're doing the thing that we're supposed to do. And game by game, we'll change you know, how we defend certain guys or certain teams.
All right, that's AD right there. We'll stop it right there. Good stuff tonight for the Lakers. Really, really good few games for the Lake Show. Let me just preview what they got coming up here, and then we're going to call it a night. Everybody can go and enjoy the rest of their Saturday night. So here's what we got going on for the Lakers, at least their next few games. They got Detroit coming up on Monday. It's be a 7:30 tip-off, so something just to keep in mind. Again, Monday, the Pistons at 7:30. And then we got the Christmas game coming up on Wednesday where the Lakers are at Golden State. I'm looking at, you know, I won't really look at the scores. I know there's a lot of games going on, but at least for the Pistons game, Pistons 11-17, but Detroit did already beat the Lakers. Sammy Long will put out a preview video at some point tomorrow to get you guys kind of all caught up and educate you a little bit on the Pistons. And then the game against the Warriors, Golden State's 14-12 now. They're 2-8. In their last 10 games. So they've completely come back down to earth. They got off to such a fast start. It was kind of like a guarantee lock. Yeah, of course, they're going to be a playoff team. And they'll probably be active in the trade market as well. That's kind of what that franchise has done over the years. But nonetheless, those are the next two games that the Lakers have. You're sitting right now record-wise, where the Lakers are sitting 16-12. Handle this next one. You're 17-12 with a chance to go up to the Bay and see what you could do on Christmas. Really good quality basketball right now by the Lakers. So for all those that have had a really bad taste in their mouth over the course of these last couple of weeks, including myself, kind of take a quick second here and appreciate what the Lakers are doing, because this is I'm a proponent of this brand of basketball. I'm a proponent of them, you know, clearly putting themselves in a position where they can win games because they're doing it on the defensive side, being better with the reboundings, limiting their turnovers just a little bit at least. So good stuff by the Lakers right now. And, you know, what was it? Somebody's putting on here. Golden State had their game against Memphis. They lost by 51. They were down by 57. So that's where the Warriors are. But no need to think about the Christmas game. Monday night, Lakers got a game first against the Pistons. Okay. Next time I'm back on, so I'm going to give everybody just a quick idea. So I'll be back Monday. I'll be doing my show in the morning, my regular 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. show. So I'll do that show live. And then I will be doing a post-game show Monday night for Lakers and the Pistons. The rest of the schedule for the week is going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to have a couple of my live shows in the morning. Christmas Eve, Christmas, I won't do that. I'm not sure yet if on Christmas I'm going to do a post-game show yet. If I don't do it, then I'll just do kind of a standalone video on Thursday that will just be more reacting to the game. So I'll most likely do something like that. Great stuff tonight. You know, sometimes I do post-game shows and I just have gloves on. Okay. Sometimes that just kind of comes with it, right? I'm always up. They always tell you, when you're boxing, you always got to have a hand up there for defense. Some of the chats that you guys throw up there, I got to have a hand on defense. You guys are vicious out there. Vicious. Great stuff tonight. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. Thank you for all the comments. If you sent a super, thank you very much for doing that. Even if you didn't, I appreciate you guys being here. I asked you guys to do one thing. Please subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this channel. You guys know how great of a channel this is for Lakers content. We got a lot of phenomenal people that are on here, and I'm going to grow it to being more than just Lakers basketball, but your support would mean so much by subscribing to the channel, and clearly we'll get as much Lakers content on here as we possibly can. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you, everybody.